Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is currently on a visit to China, where he is focused on strengthening bilateral ties and exploring opportunities within BRICS. Egypt's recent accession to the BRICS group alongside Saudi Arabia, Iran, UAE, and Ethiopia officially comes into effect in January 2024 under the leadership of Russia. The visit underscores the strategic partnership between Egypt and China, with a significant focus on economic cooperation. China is a major investor in Egypt, investing in various infrastructure projects, including those related to the Belt and Road Initiative. The Suez Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone is a prime example, facilitating significant Chinese investment and creating numerous jobs in Egypt. Egypt's membership in BRICS is expected to bring several benefits such as increased trade, greater technology transfer, and greater geopolitical influence. There are ongoing efforts to conduct trade using local currencies, which aims to reduce dependence on the US dollar. This move is particularly important for Egypt given its current economic challenges, including high inflation and significant external debt. In addition, the visit could contribute to Egypt's goals of ensuring food security and boosting the tourism sector through closer ties with BRICS countries. Partnership with China is seen as a key element in achieving these goals. During Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's visit to China, significant progress was made in de-dollarization efforts. Both countries are working to reduce dependence on the US dollar, a key priority for the BRICS countries. One of the major steps being discussed is to increase the use of local currencies in mutual trade. This initiative is in line with the broader BRICS goal of increasing financial transactions in local currencies, which is seen as a way to reduce the dominance of the US dollar in international trade. China's strategy to promote the yuan as an alternative currency in global payments is gaining momentum. For the first time, more than half of China's cross-border payments were made in RMB as of March 2024, surpassing the US dollar. This shift underscores the growing international acceptance of the RMB, facilitated by China's efforts to negotiate bilateral trade agreements that prioritize the use of local currencies. Egypt is actively exploring the possibility of issuing RMB-denominated bonds to access China's bond market, which is the second largest in the world. The move is aimed at diversifying Egypt's financial resources, attracting new investors, and lowering the cost of borrowing for development projects. In addition, Egypt is also seeking to expand trade with Russia using national currencies, a measure considered crucial to maintaining economic stability in the face of Western financial sanctions. In addition to the de-dollarization efforts discussed during President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's visit to China, there have been a number of other important developments and discussions. Egypt and China are focused on expanding economic cooperation through the Belt and Road Initiative. China has invested significantly in various infrastructure projects in Egypt, such as the Suez Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone, which has attracted numerous Chinese companies and created significant employment opportunities. The two countries are working to increase trade between them. Egypt's trade with China has shown significant growth, with substantial increases in both imports and exports. This includes discussing further investment in sectors such as energy, transportation, and telecommunications. Egypt should capitalize on China's advances in technology and innovation. China's economic and trade cooperation is growing rapidly, and this is expected to improve its economic performance. Joint projects in areas such as renewable energy, telecommunications, and transportation should contribute to the rapid development of various sectors in Egypt. Both countries are also focused on boosting tourism and cultural exchange. China is a significant source of tourists for Egypt, and efforts are being made to further expand this aspect. In addition, cultural exchange programs are being promoted to strengthen bilateral relations. Egypt's membership in BRICS is also seen as a step towards enhancing international economic and trade cooperation between the two countries. China and Egypt are expected to play a more prominent role in international affairs by standing united with other member countries in favor of a fairer global economic system. The discussions also touched on food and energy security, which are critical to Egypt. China's role in helping Egypt secure wheat supplies and investing in renewable energy projects are key components of this cooperation. Cooperation between Egypt and China has historical roots going back several decades and is mainly based on mutual economic and political interests. This relationship can be categorized into several key phases. Egypt was one of the first Arab and African countries to establish diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China in 1956. The move was part of Egypt's broader strategy under President Gamal Abdel Nasser to assert its independence from Western influence and forge alliances with non-Western powers. Egypt and China have often supported each other on various international platforms, sharing common views on anti-colonialism and sovereignty. During the Cold War, Egypt and China maintained their ties, although there was some shift toward the West under President Anwar Sadat in the 1970s. Despite this, economic and cultural exchanges continued, albeit at a slower pace. China's economic reforms in the late 1970s under leader Deng Xiaoping opened new opportunities for cooperation, especially in trade and technology transfer. The 1990s marked a significant turnaround in Egypt-China relations with the acceleration of China's economic growth. Egypt under President Hosni Mubarak began to strengthen its economic ties with China, focusing on trade, investment, and infrastructure projects. China became increasingly involved in Egypt's infrastructure, energy, and telecommunications sectors. Notable projects included the construction of the Suez Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone and investment in Egypt's new administrative capital. The strengthened alliance between Egypt and China holds great promise for broader African development through several key mechanisms. Infrastructure development. China's Belt and Road Initiative includes significant investment in African infrastructure. Egypt, as a key hub on the SHOP because of the Suez Canal, serves as a gateway for Chinese investment in Africa. Projects such as roads, railroads, and ports are important to promote trade and connectivity in the region. The Suez Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone serves as a model for similar projects across Africa, promoting industrial growth and job creation. Technology transfer and industrialization. Cooperation facilitates the transfer of Chinese technology and expertise to African countries. By adopting Chinese industrial practices and technologies, African countries can accelerate their own industrialization processes with the assistance of the Suez Canal. Human resources and education. Cultural exchanges between China and African countries, including scholarships and training programs, enhance the skills of African professionals. This human resource development is vital to sustain long-term economic growth and development. Geopolitical stability and influence. Egypt's role in BRICS and its partnership with China can help Africa gain a stronger voice in international forums by advocating policies in favor of developing countries. This geopolitical influence is critical to addressing global economic imbalances and ensuring fairer terms of trade and investment for African countries. Undoubtedly, deepening cooperation between Egypt and China will open new horizons for both countries and bring significant benefits to their peoples. It is time to welcome this new phase of relations and maximize the benefits of each other's complementary strengths. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to give us a like and leave your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. Your participation is very important to us and helps us grow. We wish you all the best and success in all your endeavors.